Hey, okay, so this video is going to attempt to walk you through the steps that you would need to do in order to start working with a supergroup template. So the first steps that I mentioned are to go to GitLab. So go to gitlab.hub0.org, and here we are inside GitLab, and what you'll see, this is going to be for the modeling group. So Cubes Hub modeling is right here as an example. And again, I've already forked it, but if you haven't forked it yet, what you would do is you would go ahead and click the fork button. And then once that happens, then it will create a forked version of modeling in your own account. So Drew Lamar /modeling is showing here. So that's really all you need to do at this stage in order to be able to access it. You might have to set up some SSH settings, if I'm not mistaken, as well. But there are instructions for doing that, so you can take a look at those instructions, and hopefully that will be self-evident. Okay, so once you do that, then we're going to go to the terminal. Okay, and what we're going to do is go to your Vagrant box. So I have it located here. And I'm going to see if it's up or not. I always think it's up, but it's not. It is running. Okay, great. So, and just to double check that it is running, I'm going to go ahead and, in fact, let me go ahead and I'm going to fix this to the screen and have this be over here. There we go. So let's just make sure it's here. Yep, there it is. There's the Vagrant box. And again, if it won't look the same as yours because I went ahead and installed the Cubes template on my Vagrant box, so it looks a little bit more like the production server. Okay, so one thing that you need to do is you need to go ahead and, before you continue, you need to go ahead and log in. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a, let's have a different account here first. Let's see, admin, Vagrant 2016. That'll get us in. Change my password. Oops. Great. All right, so now I'm logged in. And then, as you can see, I don't have any groups. What you need to do is you need to create a sort of a, I don't want to call it a dummy group, but a template group. It's going to be a group that we're going to be using as a surrogate in some sense for the modeling hub. So if we say new group, and I can call this whatever I want. I'll go ahead and call it modeling. And all this stuff is optional. This, you don't have to do anything else at this stage. Just create a quick group. Get it up and running. Okay, so here we go. Here's our group. And you'll notice that it is a standard template. This is not a super group yet. So what we need to do before we can push the template to it is we need to go ahead and log in under the back end. And number one, we need to get the group number, because we can't see the actual number of this group that the hub uses in the back end. And we'll need that in order to get to the correct directory structure in the Vagrant box. So I'm going to go into the administrator interface, and we're going to look for our newly created modeling hub. Let's see, so we'll go user groups, and then there it is, modeling hub right here. Okay, so one of the things that you're going to notice is that the type is set to hub, and it needs to be set to super. So that's the first indication that we need to get it into a super group. And then while you're here, grab the group ID number. So this is 1003, because that's what we're gonna need again to use that to find it in the Vagrant box. But first, let's change the type to a super, and you do that by clicking on it and then going to, let's see, where is it? Oh, type, very top. Type says hub. Change it to super, You might get an error, but ignore it because it's going to work, even though it's going to yell at you if it does yell at you. Oh, okay. Well, it yelled a little bit, but you can ignore it because as you can see here, it's modeling hub super worked. Okay, so it's now set to super. And if you want to check that that did indeed work, what you can do is go back to the group on the front end, and then what you'll see is that it's going to be this looks different, looks very different in fact. And so what it's doing is it's using the sort of the default template stored for a supergroup. And you may, I think in your email you mentioned some steps. I think one of the things that you did was to actually change the default template, which you don't necessarily need to do. So what I'm going to show you is instead of changing the default template for the entire Vagrant Box hub, in other words, if I created another group and then switched it over to super, it would utilize that exact same default template. All I really want is to modify the template for this specific group. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Vagrant Box over here and move into the public. Go to app, components. No, not there. Sorry, app, site, and then groups. And then 1003. So what you'll see is right here is the directory name is the group number, which is exactly why we needed to grab it. Now again, you didn't really need to know what the group number was, since on a Vagrant Box you may only have one group, so it's pretty obvious which one is the one that you're interested in. But let me print the directory just so you know. It's public app site groups. That's where you want to go to get to the group directory. So we're going to go in there, and what you will see is that there is a directory called template. That's where we need to go. Okay? So first thing that I'm going to do before I remove anything is I'm going to clone the from GitLab. Let's see if I can do this properly. Let's see. So I need to go to Drew Lamar modeling. I'm going to use HTTPS. Okay, should have cloned. And if you notice now, there's a modeling directory right here. See that right there? That modeling directory. If we go inside, what you'll see is, in fact, there is a template directory. And it's this template directory that we want. So now I've forgotten the steps, so I'm going to go to the steps to make sure I'm doing this correctly. I think this is in the Team Cubes wiki, which I said I was going to move over, but haven't done yet. Oh, no. This is where it gets confusing. Let's try this. Projects, Cubes Web Dev. I might cut this out, we'll see. It's probably not helping you watching me flounder around. Let's see, supergroup templates. There we go. Okay. I'm going to follow these steps here. Okay. So, what directory? I may have not done it in the correct directory, so let me go ahead and move out of here. Let's see, where did I do it? So I'm going to go ahead and just that I follow the directions properly. Put the modeling. Okay, so now I put the modeling thing in the same directory as the group number. So maybe whenever you do this, I would git clone into this directory, into the app site groups directory, so that you actually have the modeling with the 1003. So now hopefully the steps that are here in this box on the left will be correct. Then again, notice that this says git clone git at. I went ahead and used HTTPS, which is also another way that you can go ahead and do it if you want to go ahead and clone it from there. Okay, so let me do this. Remove -rf 1003/template. So so it gets rid of that. Move modeling /template 1003. So it's going to put that in the same location. And now what you're going to do is move modeling.get, which is that directory, to your modeling directory. And then I'm going to remove modeling because I don't need it anymore. So I got everything I needed. And then change directory to 1003. Okay. And you can, just to check to make sure it worked, do git status, and then you should see something like this. It says on branch master, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And I think, you know, this documentation needs to be cleaned. My apologies for you guys having to try to work through this. You also want to do this part right here. Remove, get remote, add upstream. So let's do that one. Upstream. And we're going to change this to modeling. Okay. Let's make sure that worked. Oh, whatever. I don't know. Check that. Okay, so now what we're going to do, so that sets it up so that you can now make changes to your template. Now you can, if you want to make sure that that works, because we just, you know, mucked around with the template, so hopefully it didn't break anything. Let's go ahead and check that. I'm going to refresh the page. Note that when you make changes to the template, if you're, I'm in Chrome right now, but if you, sometimes when you refresh, it won't actually know, or it'll pull from cached data, not from what's actually the changes that you made. So to make sure that it pulls the new changes in, you can, if you hold the shift key down and then do reload, it'll pull directly from the cache and give you an error, which is great. Maybe this is an error you've been getting. Let's see. Let me double check that this thing worked. Debugging live as we speak. Huh. Oh, you know what may have happened? Let me see. You know what? I'm just gonna, hold on a second. I'm not even sure I actually even need that. There you go. Yeah, so there's a little bug in there right now, apparently. I don't think this line is needed. So if you saw the error, let me go back. Isn't that fun to watch me debug? That's fantastically fun, isn't it? I made a change here that you actually didn't even need to make. So I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to remove this category. I'll explain what that is in a second. That shouldn't matter to what this template is doing. Yep, okay. So, looks like it's working. Yeah, okay, it's working. So, again, what you should do is go to, let's see, where am I? Let's see, the group ID number template helpers, load up menu.php, go to, was it 143? Yeah, 143. And just comment this line out, this li class. It's not necessary, as you can see by my comment. Not sure why this is necessary. I kept it in for some strange reason, but it may not need. Well, anyways, if you just comment out this one line, you won't be getting that error 500 anymore. And what you'll be seeing is sort of what Cubes has as their default template for a supergroup right now. And again, I don't know. I have no idea what kind of changes y'all want to make to the template. But again, the things that you can make in terms of changes are, you want to leave this upper bar the same. So this is one of those things that we'd like to have sort of constant across supergroups. But you can change anything below that. So, and again, this is so that users know, there's some consistency in the way that they can do things. Like for example, up here, they know that they can click on this and they can get to their membership and their settings and things like that. Or if they want to get back to their dashboard, they can do that, or their profile. So this is important sort of to give users that link to the broader Cubes ecosystem. I see I clicked a button I didn't want to, so let's go back to modeling hub. So you want to keep that nav bar up there. But this thing here is the header from here to here. This is the menu. This little darker, lighter green, even though it doesn't look like it. This shows the name of the group. And then you can actually put an image back here. And the way that you do that, let me show you a couple of things that this template does in case you want to keep it. I'm not sure if you want to keep it. But if you go to settings of the group, I'm going to put a banner up here. So let's see if I have any good images. Search banner. There we go. So here's a banner. Yeah, that's the one that I used on the production site. So banner.png, if it's called banner, and it can be .png or .jpg, you can upload it to here. And if it's there and it's called banner.png, then if you go back to the group, it will automatically use that image as a banner at the top. Okay, so that's a really quick way to get yourself, some type of banner there. Another thing too is that if your group you can have a logo for your group, and so if you go, click on the wrong thing again. I'm gonna go back. 1 second. There we go. A little bit click happy. If you go to, let's go to settings again, and then I already uploaded a banner. So let me go ahead and upload another file. This is going to be more of a type of logo. Here, let's do this air dancer GIF. This is pretty fun. You can have a logo that's a GIF. Can you believe it or not? Here, I'll show it to you so you can watch. I'm not sure if you've seen this. It's the best cosplay ever. All right. So I'm going to upload that. errordancer.gif. Preview it to you. There it is. Yep. Okay, so it's up. Down. If you scroll here, it says logo. I can choose errordancer. And I would not recommend doing this because having an animated logo would drive me absolutely nuts. But you can do it. So there you see, you have an animated GIF as your logo right next to the modeling hub name of the group. And you know, again, with this template, some of the nice things that it does is it's got, if you scroll up, it'll stick to the top. So no matter where you are in your group, you'll have that context of, oh, I'm in the modeling hub, there's the logo, all that kind of stuff. This bar here, again, is blank right now, but it's supposed to hold any kind of menu items that you might want. So with this template, one of the things that you can do is if you go to pages, the overview page doesn't show up as a menu item. That's just if you click on the name of the group, it'll take you to the main page. But you can add a page. So let's do a new page. So let's just call this intro page. Intro page. This is what's used in the URL, by the way. This is content. And then what you can do is I created this category called menu. So if you, right now this is kind of hacked, but if you, you know, you can have web pages in your group that aren't part of the menu structure. But if you want it to be part of the menu structure, then what you can do is you can make the category menu. That's all you got to do. And then when you do that and you say save, you have, it even shows you a little color here. There's the intro page. And you see that it's indented as subset of overview page. So there wasn't much that you can do editing of a page there, but again, you can click here and then you can get back to the content if you want to edit the content. Yes, I want to leave. Okay. So, and then what you get, what you'll see is it's now part of the menu. So now it's part of the menu. Intro page is there. I can click on it, and I would go to this is content. Okay. And then I think what you can do is you can put whatever HTML that you want in this here. So you see how it says format HTML. And you edit it. Okay. So on Cube's production, this is actually what's called CK editor. It gives you a lot more of the WYSIWYG functionality in terms of being able to enter content. But for right now, if you want to use that, you need to turn it on the back end. And I don't really know if I know how to do that right now, but I can actually look it up and get back to you on that if you're really interested. But you can do any kind of HTML you want here. I think the only thing to keep in mind is you can even do inline CSS. You cannot do very fancy things. You can't, like if you want to do JavaScript, you can do JavaScript, but it needs to be approved by, well, I guess if it's on the Vagrant box, then you can approve it. And you can actually change it so that you can use JavaScript. But just be warned that, you know, all of it has to be inline, or you have to put it somewhere and then pull it in using proper HTML if you want it to show up on the page. But it's sort of like, it's not the necessarily the preferred way to create pages for your group. Again, it depends on what you want to do and the kind of content that you want to create and how fancy you want to get. But anyways, so let's see. And then notice that too, if I could do another, if I did another page and then further down, more content. If I say menu and I make the parent the intro page, then that will be a nested page, and so it'll be nested in the menu as well. I can show you that in a second. So if I click that, go back to the group. Now what you'll see is that the intro page in the menu has a little down arrow signifying that there is something there. Click on it, there's the further down. And you can nest it even further. So if you put something under further down, it would have an arrow pointing to the right, and then it would show even more stuff. So, you know, this is the way that you can put pages in the menu by just adding that category of menu, and it'll show up here. Okay, and so again, a couple things while I'm here to show you around. In this template, what you'll notice is that in the includes folder, there is a footer.php and a header.php, and those are that's the code that creates the footer and the header. And then there's also, in this case, a sidebar menu.php, which in this case creates this lovely beast over here on the left. And so again, in this template, the pages are in the menu up top in the nav bar, but this sidebar was what contains all of the group areas, community areas of the hub for this group. And it, again, I think as you've seen, it'll follow you around as you scroll, which, you know, took me forever to learn because I am new to this web design and development stuff. All right, I guess I can't shrink it. Anyways, if I make it bigger though, what you'll notice is that it will sort of follow you appropriately. Okay. All right. So that's it. And then what you would do then is you could just edit the way you normally edit things. Usually, probably not VI or Emacs. The whole point is that you might want to use something like Sublime Text or something like that, a fancier editor, text editor. Some sort of IDE for PHP if you want. But the point is you can do all your editing here, and then when you save, you just go back over to here, and then you go ahead and do the, again, shift reload to make sure it loads it properly. And then boom, you'll have your changes. Okay, I hope that's good for now. If you have any other questions, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I enjoy learning all of this lovely stuff that you are learning. I'm going to sign off.